Now, our story begins about 4,000 years ago. In the East and the South Pacific Islands were completely uninhabited. If there are any signs of human existence, it was in the fringes of the Western Pacific Islands, in places like Papua New Guinea, the Solomons, Tasmania, the region we now refer to today as the Melanesian group of islands. Scientific evidence has proven that these Melanesians have been around for more than 20,000 years, a very, very long time. They were hunter and gatherer people. They live in small villages and small family units, isolated from the rest of the population. Around 2500 BC, these islands were suddenly replaced by a new branch of humanity. These newcomers intrepidly storming through the region as they moved east towards the rising sun. They were fierce warriors and great seafarers, built and sailed on huge double-hulled canoes that could carry hundreds of people. When they arrived, they brought with them a new culture, a new language that evolved out of Southeast Asia and spoken today in the Eastern Pacific Islands. They were polytheistic society people. They practiced animism and built sacred temples of worship like this one. The high priest prayed to the gods on behalf of the chief and his people. Notice that our temple is highly elevated. The belief was that the taller the structure, the closer the communications with our ancestral gods. The gods have granted blessings to the chief and his people. These newcomers introduced a new social hierarchy system where the chiefly titles were inherited by bloodline, and chiefs were believed to be descendants of ancestral gods. Standing before you is a model of a chief from the islands of Fiji. He dressed in a chiefly attire. His skirt is made from the voi, or the dried pandanus leaves. He wears vests around his arms and ankles from a mangi, the fiber of the coconut husk, a trail on his arms and on his back from tapa or masi, we call it in Fiji. He wears a mother pearl shell around his neck, and the markings on his face signifies his royal status. He holds the war club in his hands, the symbol of his power and his authority. He will now call his people to a dance called Tura, depicting the safe arrival to this newfound land. Now, as these newcomers continue to settle the coastal areas of Fiji, they continue to practice traditions that they brought along with them. One such practice is the making of the tapa cloth called masi. The tablecloth or mass is made from the bark of the paper mulberry plant. The other one is weaving of mats and baskets from the dried pandanus leaves we call voi voi. These practices, among others, are still being practiced today throughout Polynesia. But there's one unique tradition that's no longer done in other parts of Polynesia, except in the islands of Fiji. That is the make of the pottery. We call it the lapita pottery. This lapita pottery is a low-fat earthenware pottery tempered with shell and sand. Notice there's motifs that are unique in our Polynesian arts. These motifs often can be found in our tattoos and also in our tapa designs. Our dance will now dance to Tulikuro as we celebrate the making of this pottery, the history behind it, and how it's being treasured today in the islands of Fiji. Now, hundreds of years later, as these Lapita people now integrated into the Fijian society, the decorated tube of a sperm whale was introduced as the most highly valued and highly prized cultural item in the islands of Fiji. We call this as a tambua. Can everyone say tambua? Tambua. The tambua, the sperm whale's tooth, is used as a gift of esteem and atonement, and used in negotiation between rival chiefs and tribes. We use tambua in many of our ceremonies. One such ceremony is called a dumudi ceremony. A tambua is presented to a father asking for his daughter's hand in marriage. And these are normally done to solidify and forge alliances between tribes. What you're about to witness now is a reenactment, a condensed version of a dumudi ceremony. A tambua will be presented to our host chief asking for his daughter's hand in marriage. The ceremony will begin with the beating of the drum we call lali. We call the people together and await the arrival of our visitors. As the visitors arrive at the chiefly compound, they will call out. Whoa! It's the highest form of respect that chiefs accord each other, acknowledging rank and title. Ceremonies such as these follow strict protocols, and only honorific language of chiefs and nobles are used. The spokesperson of the rival tribe now establishing a special lineage that connects the two tribes, and then stating the purpose of their visit, which is the marriage proposal. Before he formally accepts the tambua, a high chief will now summon his daughter to let her know of the marriage proposal. And the Kalakalo, my precious daughter, I'm holding a tambua in my hand, the presentation from the rival tribe. They're here asking for your hand in marriage to the prince. The princess, understanding the significance of this arrangement, has agreed to the marriage proposal. She has no choice. The father now formally accepts the tambua and gives his blessings to the new union. The ceremony now concludes. Our High Chief now presents his daughter, the Princess Andi Kalo Kalo. The princess dressed in the chiefly attire as well, with a tapa cloth wrapped around her, the trail on her arms and her back, the longer the trail, the highest her rank in our society. The white curry shell and the markings on her face signifies her royal status. Standing next to her is the handsome prince from the rival tribe. He too is of royal status, judged by the mother bull shell that he wears around his neck. We wish them well. How about a big hand to the new couple? Now, Fijian old traditions and history talks a lot about warfare and conflicts, and lots of fights in those early days. In fact, missionaries describe such sin as being ferociously vicious and inhumane. Many weapons were used. One such weapon is the moto sai or the spear. The other one is called Nayula, or the short throwing club. The short throwing club is very deadly when the opponent is trying to escape. But the most commonly used weapon is the manda, or the iwao. This is used for close combat fighting. And this one. 1835, Christian missionaries arrived in Fiji and therein started the conversions of our chiefs and their people to Christianity, to the new religion, to the new faith. Temples like this one were replaced by chapels and churches. And the new ways being introduced by the missionaries were now integrated into the way things are done in Fiji. If you remember the attire, this was earlier, the grass skirts and the tapa cloths, those were now reserved for ceremonial functions. Instead, this now became the formal attire. If you remember a while back with the presentation of the taboo, or the whale's tooth for the marriage proposal, that is now done only as a formality. What prestigious now is a Western-styled marriage proposal. After many months of dating, our handsome prince finally on his knees. Question, a ring from Walmart. This time, no hesitation from the princess, said yes from the bottom of her heart. Another big hand to the new couple. And with the introduction of the more musical instruments, we'll now dance to contemporary songs like this one. Clap, 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 there you go. Clap, clap, there you go. Come on. Family and friends, it is customary for us in Fiji to sing our farewell song called Isalay whenever family and friends like yourselves leave our shores. Isalay has a lot of meanings, but today simply means thank you. Thank you for visiting us at the Fijian village of the Polynesian Culture Center. As you probably know by now, these performers, all of them, full-time students from the islands of Fiji attending the nearby university next to the BYU Hawaii campus. They left Fiji to come here to study. Once they started their study, they returned home to Fiji and help with the development of our beloved nation. And their study is made possible because of you visiting us here this afternoon. How about give yourself a big round of applause? Please keep applause going for our performance, full-time students from Fiji and our musicians as well.
As the sun rises from the east and sets in the west, we are constantly reminded of our ancestors who braved the open ocean and settled in the beautiful islands of Fiji 2,500 years ago. This is our story, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope you have enjoyed it as much as we have enjoyed sharing it with you all. Vinaka Wakalevu, which is our word for gratitude, and Nisa Modemanda.
Notice they sit down and clap their hands as a sign of respect for performing before you. Once again, a performance from Fiji. That concludes our presentation this afternoon, family. Thanks again for visiting with us. Have a wonderful day, and Bula Vinaka.
Bula Vinaka.
All right, you may leave now.